One of my favorite places to wheel is here in beautiful Moab, Utah. And what better vehicle to take than a Jeep? And this time I am taking a Grand Cherokee, not the L, not the 4xe. This is your standard 2-row Grand Cherokee. Now, it's all new, so I gotta take it on the pavement and tell you what I think about that. But then we're gonna come back here and we're gonna have a ton of fun. Generation of the Jeep Grand Cherokee, and as such it's running on all new architecture and it's been completely redesigned. So outside, well, it's lower, of course, the track is wider, the 7-slot grille is here, but that too has also been made bigger, and there's LED lighting all the way around. I really like the way this thing looks on the outside, but the real story is what's happening in here. There's a lot of nice luxury touches, but on the whole it remains very functional. I love the open pore wood that we've got. If you like screens, well, I've got a digital gauge cluster. I've got a nice size screen here in the center, and there's a class exclusive screen for your passenger. Under the hood, you can get the stalwart 3.6 liter V6 engine, but my Summit trim here is rocking the 5.7 liter V8 engine. That's good for 357 horsepower and 390 pound-feet of torque. Both those engines are mated to Jeep's 8-speed automatic transmission, and I really like it. I mean, it's doing its stuff in the background, upshifting, downshifting smoothly, and I never really have to wait or ask for the power. It always seems to be there under my right foot. This model is equipped with Jeep's Quadralift air suspension. It's helping to smooth out the bumps a little bit, but I gotta say, this isn't really a corner carver. I mean, yeah, it's big, but mostly there's just a lot of body roll. You can throw it into sport mode. That tightens things up just a bit, makes it a little bit more fun. But on the whole, I think that people are going to be satisfied with this vehicle's on-road performance. But y'all, it's a Jeep. Now, I know that Grand Cherokee owners are not gonna go crazy rock crawling, but I'm in Moab. So I'm gonna get into a Trailhawk and I'm gonna see what this thing can do on the rocks. All right, we are finally on the slick rock of Moab, and I am in the top off-road trim. That is the Trailhawk. This one's got the 3.6 liter V6, good for 293 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque. And what makes a Trailhawk a Trailhawk? All right, I'm gonna tell you. 2-speed transfer case, front sway bar disconnect, and an electronic limited slip differential. Now there's a couple of things about this ELSD, right? That means that it's just going to lock your rear end when it senses it. And it's not gonna always lock it 50-50. Maybe it'll throw 100% of the torque to the left or 85% of the torque to the right. You don't know. So the bad thing about that is that you really need to let the vehicle search a little bit before it decides what it wants to do. The good thing about that is that it's never fully locked, so turning can be much, much easier. Now, why isn't an electric sway bar disconnect a good thing? Well, it basically means that you've got more articulation, so you've got more droop, which means that you can droop that front tire an additional 5 inches. So you've got more rubber on the ground, which is gonna give you more grip, because you always want your tires on the ground because you're not gonna move unless you got grip. You can't have grip unless your tires are on the ground. Oh, hard this way, my Jeep Jamboree guy is telling me. Go, I think I'm at 14 degrees of roll. Here we go, we're gonna go up, we're gonna go up, we're gonna go up. Woo, stop it. And now I'm just teeter-tottering. Woohoo! I'm just gonna hang out here, it's all good, it's all good. All right, and now we're gonna go full driver, and with just a little bit, boom, there we go. So much fun. Oh my God, I love it. Now with this Trailhawk, I have got a pretty good departure angle, although I did slam the rear there just a little bit. 30 degrees in the back, 24-degree breakover angle, and a really nice 35-degree approach angle, plus 11.3 inches of ground clearance and 24 inches of water fording, although I don't think I'm gonna find any water out here today. Now, a lot of times when you are going uphill like this, you can't see anything in front of you. So Jeep has got a forward-facing camera, and I have to say, sometimes these forward-facing cameras are kind of lame. You can't see anything. The quality isn't all that good, but this is really nice. I think I would actually use this. This Jeep also has select speed control, which basically is off-road cruise control. It's not really my jam because what it does is it handles the braking and the acceleration for you, and all you have to worry about is steering. Personally, like I kind of like to do it all, so I don't use that. But if you're a newbie off-roader, it's great because it really helps you focus on just picking your line. And you can see how fast or how slow you're gonna need to go because the truck is doing everything for you. Now, of course, I do have drive mode, so I am in rock mode. There's also sand and mud, snow, auto, and there's even a sport mode in the Trailhawk, which is kind of cool. It's not just reserved for the upper trims. Okay, this one is really crazy. There's like this giant, huge shelf. I love this one. All right, here we go. Now, as for tires, this is wearing Goodyear Territory tires. They're 265/60s wrapped around 18-inch wheels, and we are running at street pressure, which is about 39, 40 PSI. All right, as for crawl ratio, we're looking at 44:1. So, you combine that with the with all of the geometry. Like, look, you guys, this isn't a Wrangler. It's not supposed to be a Wrangler. It's a family hauler that can really get you out into the wilds. And what I like about Jeep too is that, like, they don't mess around when it comes to their off-road testing. Like, we're out here in Moab where people would take this vehicle, and it's doing really, really nicely. So don't feel wrong about taking your cars out. You guys, stock vehicles can do so much. Now, having said that, like, would I swap out these tires? I mean, like, yeah, probably. Would I, like, take off the bumper? Yeah, I'd probably do all that kind of stuff too. But just off the showroom floor, you guys, pretty impressive. All right, now we come down to the brass tacks. I'm talking about the price. The Grand Cherokee starts at just over $40,000, including destination, but this Trailhawk here with a few additional options, you're looking at right around $61,000. Now, that is a lot of money, but look, it can get you out here into the wilds, and that, my friends, is priceless. You can expect to see it in dealerships at the end of 2021. Okay, so now we've got the Grand Cherokee L. We're gonna get a Grand Cherokee 4xe pretty soon, and now we have this, a huge Grand Cherokee family. Let me know which one you want me to test for a full week in the comments, and as always, be sure to like and subscribe.